Hi, welcome back for the last video of today. This is going to be number 4, and because I am trying so hard to finish up all the things that I had started, okay? So I'm doing this. Just a few quick distractions, and then we're going to go through all the things because I watched the videos to try to make sure that I am like wrapping up my stories, okay? So the reason why, okay, I tried to do my little tagline of like lovers, haters, investigators, and that's just not authentic to me, but like I know what works on YouTube because I watch videos of other people, okay? And so I'm not like trying to research how to get my videos out to a larger audience because I think that I have a lot of things in my videos that might get me kicked off, okay? So that's why like I'm starting out here and then trying to move over to a different platform, which I guess maybe might be Twitch and Discord, okay? So we'll see how that goes. But really what I intend to do is have a subscription channel, like Patreon channel, which I already established one. I bet it's called As the Crow Flies, but when I tried to access it, it's like, it's not available anymore. So fine. So like technology moves too fast. All right. So I'm just trying to like explain all the truth behind things because you guys never get to see the truth of things. Okay. So I want you to know like that I'm like catfishing you. I don't understand what's going on with this video screen, but just understand it's just a computer. Okay. I was just looking at the timer to make sure it was still going. So I told you already, I dye my hair. I have to dye it because it's like lighter at the roots right now. And the reason why I dye my hair is because it's thin. And so if I dye it one consistent color, then I can use different things. Like, do you remember the hair spray, like the colored hairspray back from Ronco back in the day? That is like the cheapest way to deal with it. Because like I said, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to figure out what went wrong. And like, how can I undo it based on all the truth that they're telling us about their products? Okay. So, and I'm just not willing to do, like prescription level stuff because I've also been diagnosed with like PCOS and this other stuff. And I'm not trying to like mess with all my hormones. I just want natural things and to use the power of the mind and of belief. So I need you guys to like, just like me enough to want what's best for me so that I can feel completely comfortable in my life. Okay. So anyway, I want you to know that I'm like catfishing you a little bit. All right. So I'm telling you the truth about my hair. I never actually do anything to my hair. I just let it dry the way that it is. So that's why some days it's like straight and other days it's like curlyish or whatever that it wants to do. But I don't really use a foundation. I use this old stuff that used to work. Physicians Formula, like bronzer. Okay. So that I think has some like light deflection. So that makes my skin look nicer. And I'm trying to tell you, I do not look this like clean in person. I am a flawed human, a very flawed human. And I keep trying to find eyeliner that I really, really like. Now, what I'm eventually going to go and do is get my eyeliner tattooed on. And mainly that's to have a consistent line that I can follow every day so I don't have to recreate the same look and then have like one wing up and one wing down. It's annoying. But because I have my eyeliner on at all times. And so then when it gets smeared, then it looks like not the way that I want to look. Okay. So I just want you to know the why behind all the things that I do. Okay. So that you can feel comfortable in yourself, because when people are judging you and then you feel bad about it, because my ex used to say that like women wear makeup to manipulate men. Okay. So fine. That's fine. So I went like a month without wearing makeup just to like show that I could feel comfortable like that. And then he did not like the way that I looked as much. I could tell because I can read people's thoughts. Okay. He was like not as comfortable with it. And then people were like, you look different. Did you do like your eyes look different or something? I'm like, yeah, it's because I'm not wearing makeup. So I did do a video without makeup on and it was called You're Not So Vain. So if you want to look it up, maybe I'll attach it. But anyway, so I have this like Maybelline Tattoo Studio because I can't find the actual pencil that I like so much because I don't know. It's like all the other products are there, but not that one. So this has to be put on with a brush. So it's okay. It works all right. But what I have on right now is this NYX, what is it? I don't know. It's just some sort of like semi-permanent lip color with, clear coat, and it stays on for like ever. And then what happens is like, damn, the light is very shifty in this video. But anyway, what happens is that after I take it off, my lips peel. So I do not like that. Maybe makeup is not supposed to stay on your skin for like 24 hours unless you get it tattooed on. So eventually I will. Because my friend Kyla introduced me to the concept of tattooed eyeliner. Well, I knew of it before, but she got it done. And I was like, holy crap, I've always been so scared, but she doesn't have other tattoos that I know of. So I'm like, I want you to take me to get it done. And because she got it done because her mom had gotten it done and her mom took her to get it done. So like, all right, anyway. And then like I just recently got this because I used to like it and it's just like a little foundation thing. And I went into a store the other day. Oh, I went into Walmart. This is where I hate shopping at Walmart because um plenty of reasons. Okay. So I was like at the end of my workday, but and my eyeliner was messed up and I didn't have any with me. And I was trying to find the one that I like so much that I can't find anymore by Maybelline, which is a tattoo studio. So I went and found this one because I really like big, thick crayon eyeliners, but usually they don't stay on long well. So it is Color Tattoo and it is by Maybelline, but I don't know. I still haven't found the one that I really love. And I wish they would just bring back the other one. I don't know where it is. So I'll just have to probably buy it online. But I was like, oh, no worries. Nobody will see me with my makeup messed up. And so and do I care? Not really, but it's just like I want people to see me consistently the way that I present myself. So you're not thinking that I'm putting on a show for other people and to draw in attention. It's just for me to feel comfortable within myself and the way that I want to walk around in this world, okay? So all black works for me, okay? I like it. I feel more comfortable in it. So that's what it is, all right? But I had so the first thing that I went and did when I was in the store, because I had to pick up like a little bit of food and then had to go and get a gift for my daughter. So I was like, I went to look for the eyeliner first and I was like, found this and I was clutching it in my hand because I'm like, if I put this in the cart, it's going to fall out, right? So I was like clutching it in my hand and trying to remind myself, do not forget to like wring it out because I also walk around with a pen in my hand, which I had. So a pen and this. So I did remember to charge myself for it and not just like walk out and steal it. But yeah, I ran into a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in like, I don't know, since I was 16 or 18 or something like that. So I was like, oh, well, somebody saw me this way. And I had like my hair back in a scrunchy and like my mom jeans on, those stonewashed jeans. And so it just wasn't like normally how I present myself, but whatever, that's the thing. That's what happens in reality. So you might as well just tell people the truth, okay? Because somebody's always there to see it. So that's what this channel is. It's telling you the truth because I want you to have a place of solace. I want you to have a place where you know that you're going to have the truth told to you, okay? And that you have somebody that you can rely on to like guide you in the truth because we are going into crazy times, okay? The energy has been crazy. My dog is scratching at the door. So sorry if you can hear it. But we've been going through crazy times like since 2020 and since before then, but it's coming to a culmination point, okay? And I want you to know that I want you to come here to have a safe place. That's why my little tagline at the beginning is not going to stick because I don't like it and I'm not going to stick with it. So I just want you to know that I am trying to teach you all this stuff because it like shit's hitting the fan, right? And it's going to happen real quick. And I want you to know that I don't know what the astrological like terms for it are and what planet is moving into where, but it's like, I think it's Neptune moving into, I don't know, Aquarius or something like that. Or there's like Pluto is moving somewhere else. And both events, whichever planet it is, like I heard one thing about Pluto and one thing about Neptune. And the one for Pluto, I think hasn't happened in 164 years and Neptune hasn't happened in 165 years. So you will not see this again in your life. So I want you to understand that if you feel like life is not fair because you didn't choose to be here, your soul chose to be here during this time. Okay. You know, you have a soul. You know that there's something like that's calling within you to make changes, but you're too scared because you don't see how to make those changes. So I'm trying to establish my truth here so that you can trust me, so that you know what side of history to be on. Okay. Let everybody panic. And the 91st Psalm I read in another, video a long time ago. Okay. So I go and look up the 91st Psalm and you need to read it to yourself all the time, like every day. So I will make like a video about it. And I will read the Constitution and whatever the other thing is when I was showing the book the other day, because I want you to know what our country was founded on. And I want you to see if you feel that it's true right now, because I'll do like a political video, because everything that I do, it's how do you see the truth in both sides and the importance in both sides? And then what do we actually need at this time? Okay. So there's no political, like, the president, he's like not the enemy, and he's not the one like really causing everything to go wrong. It's like all the things that have happened up to your current president, whoever it is, that they are dealing with. Okay. So it doesn't matter what my feelings are on it. We can talk about it factually. All right. So did I say all the things? Let me pause it real quick. Okay. The important part about these like planetary transits that are going on right now is that we are not going to see them again in a lifetime, but the last time that they happened was when the Civil War kicked off. Okay. And you know that our country is way too lazy to go to civil war. All right. Like in the sense of when they did it before. So the cycle is repeating. All right. So you need to understand that cycles always repeat, but they always show up differently. And that's why I'm saying we're not going to have a global pandemic again where everybody goes indoors and puts masks on. And so that leads me into one of the first things that I want to call back from what I was saying before. So first of all, don't worry about what is the state of the world right now in our country. You need to worry about the state of your insides. Do not panic. Okay. Because like, Jehovah's Witnesses, they dictate the Bible to be the word. And if you have a belief in something, then it is that thing. Okay. Then that is the reality that you see. And I want you to understand about like Revelations. What I should do is start reading Revelations, but I've got just too many things to like catch up on and inform you about in a timely fashion so that you have a place of where you can calm down. And that is here with me. Okay. So come and join me in these videos. Please watch them in double speed. Or if you don't want to, if you have all the time in the world and you just want to hear something again, tune out from what they are showing you all over and all the conversations that everybody else are having, and come here and be with me in a space where we can hold our calm. All right. So anyway, what I was saying about my kids' school that I didn't go back and finish that story is that my kids have had, I laugh at the experience of what they've had in school, because first of all, they started out in school in Washington State, and then I got out of the Army, so we moved from Washington State to Louisiana. So they started school in Louisiana. Well, my daughters started school in Louisiana. They were like 1.5 and 6 months old when we left Washington. So they so they've been like moved around from school to school. The boys definitely have. And then the girls started in Louisiana. And like in 2016, all during the summer of 2016, the school was renovating they built a new cafeteria. So they did that. And then school starts in August in Louisiana. So there's a fruit fly. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So people know that I'm talking about them and they're trying to distract me. So there was the first day of school, I think, was like August 4th in Louisiana that year. And our flood happened on August like 14th or 15th. It was happening during that period of time. And if that date sounds familiar, that's because that was the date that my best friend took his life. Okay. But I didn't find out until a year later. It is also the date of my parents' anniversary. And then my brother-in-law's birthday is like right within there too. Okay. So I'm actually, August 4th was my anniversary, so maybe that wasn't their first day of school, but I'm just telling you how things cycle around and why those dates become important and imprinted. It's like because they're repeating a cycle of like something, all right, and trying to get your attention. So they started school, and within a couple of days of being at school, they had to cancel school because on the Wednesday when it started raining, they were predicting floods, okay, and it was just rain. It was not a hurricane. So now some places that flood often, they were flooding on Wednesday. Okay. My friend's apartment. So she came over and like stayed in our neighborhood. And then by Saturday, the rain had stopped, but by Friday, most of our street was flooded. And then our house flooded on Saturday after the rain stopped because the rivers crested and the water flowed in. So, yeah. So then they were out of school for like, I don't remember how long it was, but what they ended up having to do was there was one school that hadn't flooded. So they built a temporary school out of T buildings. That's what they call them. They're like triconnexes, right? Basically. And So they had a temporary school built over on this other school's property. And so they would have to do the busing all weird because all the buses were going to like these two schools. All right. So they had a weird experience with that. And then they moved up here and then COVID happened. So then they had like virtual school because I was not sending them back to school when they were doing this hybrid shit. I was like, it's either all or nothing. So, yeah, except for my son, Tyler, because his class was going back every single day, whereas the other kids were going like some days and not some days. So I was like, no, I would rather have them in my home. So I got to homeschool them for a short period of time. And then they did the virtual curriculum, which was a fucking mess. Okay. So that was that story. The phone call that I missed, this is how we're our own worst enemies. It was for my son's Social Security supplemental income appointment. Now I had put that into my calendar when I made the appointment, like 2 months ago, but I had put it in my Gmail calendar from like a different Gmail than what I currently have active. So I didn't get my notification. Okay. So one, I screwed up income for him. All right. But two, it's a government thing, right? So perhaps it's supposed to be held off for a period of time so God can show how miracles work in other ways. All right. So expect a miracle soon because it's always darkest before the dawn. Do you know that song? Okay, it's Florence and the Machine. And that's how I stay calm in shitty situations now because I know when I am feeling the worst inside, it's like because these are called dark nights of the soul, if you want to call them that. But I'm like, damn, have I not had mine yet? Because things keep getting lower and lower as I'm trying to like climb my way out of this deep valley, which is what Dale stands for. And I'm trying to Dale, which is go for it. That is like my name. But in like Cubans always say Dale, which means like go for it. Okay. So there's a dual meaning to my name. It's valley and go for it. So I am going to the go for it one. So if you want to call me Dale, go ahead because I prefer it to Dale. That sounds like we're dry heaving. All right. So anyway, so that was my missed call. I am a flawed human. I'm putting it on camera right now. I got to try to go in some kind of order because I got it all over the place. All right. My daughter, when I was saying that people respect me in my surroundings or something, I don't remember what I was saying, but what I was talking about was that my daughter came in and asked me what my favorite day of the week was. And I said Thursday and she was like, mine too. And so it's like, so I get validation in all the things that I think and feel. Oh, I think that's what it was about was I was saying like my friend Eric was my best friend because he accepted me for all of me. Well, my kids do the same thing and they actually like cheer me on for things. Like my daughter Ella, she was saying like, I really like your outfit. I'm like, cool, thank you. I do everything for them. Okay. So, and because I feel comfortable with it, if I feel comfortable and I get a compliment from them, that's the only thing that matters to me. So the importance of this was, it was not just to say that Thursday was her favorite day. It was because she was like, she goes through my closet to choose what she wants to wear sometimes. And she saw that I had a Better Than Ezra shirt. Now, the shirt has been hidden in their closet because like the organizers that I moved into my closet when I was cleaning it was in their room because I told you this room was occupied by my previous partner. All right. So I couldn't get in here to get my stuff. I had no source of comfort. I had no space to myself. I was like subjected to the couch. So when he finally moved out, I cut up the bed and threw it out because I am not taking any of that energy. He doesn't. If you understand how energy works and you're listening to what I'm saying, people attach themselves through things. Okay. So it's gone. All right. So I don't have a bed. I would really love to have a comfortable bed again someday, but that is way down on the list of things that are important to me because I couldn't fit it in this room now anyway, because I have like a massage table, which is for Reiki. I have a painting table. I have this table here that I'm working on. I have a anti-gravity chair or gravity chair, whatever they call them. Because I do Reiki with that too. And it's my relax spot. Okay. So, yeah, I like the couch. I just feel more secure there. That's what I'm going to do for right now. And until I don't have to anymore. But anyway, she was, saw that I had a Better Than Ezra shirt and she got so excited about it. Now I used to not share that Better Than Ezra was my favorite band because people, didn't know them or respect them, or they couldn't discern them from like, what is the one that it's like, they always associate them with another band. So like if you put on a playlist and then they have these other bands that are similar, damn, the lead singer is not alive anymore and I can't remember what the band is, but they were nothing like them. Okay. Better Than Ezra spoke to me for so many different reasons other than just the song Good. But that was the first song that I heard from them. And from the first chord that they played from the first note, I was like, what is this? Right. I remember sitting in my parents' K car. And if you know what a K car is, my whole family had one. I don't know why, but anyway, that's what I remember. And it was like drastic, like it's a drastic, extreme memory for me. And so that is so important to me. So my kids, they love them now. They absolutely love them. And I think it's amazing and beautiful. And she was so excited to wear this shirt. So she was like squealing about it, but she was waiting for Thursday to wear it so she'll be wearing it tomorrow. Okay. So that was that. And then the Chinese food thing was when I got redirected over to New Dragon, what I saw on the outside, because I had to pass like Kula Yoga Studio, which in videos back, I was talking about how I had the inspiration to teach a class at this yoga studio that I know the owner of. Okay. And I did text him the information. He has not gotten back to me. So either I could invest myself in going there and talking to him about it or reaching out to him again, or I see another option here, because when I was brought over to New Dragon, like I said, it's not about the destination. It's like, what is the journey along the way and, on the way out. So I saw this like yoga wellness center that looked very, self-made, very self-made. Like they had painted their own sign and stuff. It looked like quaint and cozy. And I'm like, I need to remember that mental note and go back there and see what they're all about, because I think that is the area where I would like to teach classes. Okay. So that was the importance of the Chinese food. And that when I got home, that my door broke on my car. So I was like telling my kids, like, just so you know, this happened. And so I don't want them to ever feel like sad or bad about anything that is not their fault. So I was just like telling them very matter of factly, this is how we're going to deal with it this time. And we're not going to invest our money into that. I have to invest my money into the brakes and the oil change. And I was like, so after all that, I'm like, but yay, Chinese food, right? And they're like, yay, Chinese food, right? So they felt a little bit bad, but not really. It's like, I want them to know what's going on so they understand that if I'm reacting in a different way or I'm sad about something, it's because just all this stuff piles up all the time. Okay. And we have to figure out how to get through it. So that was that. And then I am sitting on a pillow right now, and that it made me laugh earlier. And what I wanted to talk about in this morning's videos was that did you have a family that would like make you sit on a phone book if you were too short to like sit up at the table and didn't have a booster seat? This is so funny because like phone books in this area, because West Seneca, I'm in Hamburg now, but I grew up in West Seneca. The phone books were like this thick. Okay. So when my mom met my dad's family, my grandmother, for the first time, I think, with the kids, with us, she was like, do you have a phone book for the kids to sit on? And my grandma was like, yes, I do. But she brings it out, and it was like probably less thick than this book. Okay. And that's because my dad is from Newark, New York, not New Jersey. Okay. It was a very important town because it's right on the Erie Canal. And, they had a canning factory, and I think like some other stuff too. Kodak was around there. But that was like in Palmyra. But anyway, so it was just so funny because once she brought it out, everybody was like laughing because we realized, okay, that's not going to work as like a booster seat because their town is less populated. Okay. So that's how you get to learn about other people, even within your own family dynamic of what you marry into. So, so I'm sitting on my booster seat because I want to align properly with my background. So I will like swap the tables out and sit in a higher seat and try and figure this out better. But I have my computer sitting on top of this like glass jar of like lots of rocks and stones and stuff in it. So it's like all very unprofessional because I don't spend beyond my means. And that's what you have to work with what you have until you can afford the thing. Because we are very deeply in a recession right now, but you don't see it because you get to have cool shit because it's cheap now because you're not having to make it, right? Temu and all these things. Stop. I mean, that is why Donald Trump is like, not, that's what his beef is with China. He used it to his advantage when he was a business owner, okay, because shit was cheap. But now he understands that that's what degrades our economy, all right? So let the chaos happen. Let the walls break. Let this shit fall. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. So let it happen, dude. If he's a narcissist, that's the best kind of leader that you could hope for because what he wants is what's good for him. So if it's good for him, you can't help but benefit from it in the full balance of how that thing all plays out. All right. So I guess I just did my political spiel about it. All right. So booster seat, let's check that off the list. Chinese food, check that off the list. And BTE, kids school, missed call. I wanted to talk about the I only talked about how I was a Capricorn. Now I want you to understand a little bit about astrology so you can see if you think this, I show up in what my sign is. All right. So most people only know their sun sign. My sun sign is Capricorn. So that's the one that's going to be most obvious. All right. I already explained what Capricorn is. My rising sign, which you only can find out your rising sign if you know the time and place where you were born. All right. So I know I was born at like 5:35 in the morning. And I have to tell you something about this because the doctor asked my mother if she would like to have the first baby born of the year. And she said, no, I don't want all the attention. Okay. That was like my soul speaking from her mouth because my mother loves attention. Okay. When I heard her say that, I was like, what in the world? That is like not like you at all. So I could have been like famous from birth, but I wasn't because my soul was already speaking through my mother that I didn't want to have, I didn't want to be seen or heard or known. Okay. But I'll get back to the rising sign, but my moon sign is Leo, and Leos love the spotlight. Okay. So it's not that I love the spotlight. It's that like in my shadows, I know where that's supposed to be. In the light of the moon, I know that that's where it's supposed to be. But I'm most comfortable like in the dark and in the night. Okay. So I didn't plan this all together, but I got this because it spoke to me back in 2019 when I originally started this channel, but never did anything with it because I was too embarrassed and scared and all these different things that you feel every single time I sit in front of this computer to record. I am scared. I feel scared. I feel scared that the people that have like that I loved so much in the past that hurt me and broke me, that they are going to see these videos and that they are going to like lash out against me. Okay. But that's why I have to do it in a public forum of where everybody can see, because if they come back against me, they know it's going to be shown up in the videos. All right. So I don't doubt that they're seeing these now, probably. I don't know, but I do need to clarify the differentiation between my tattoos and my ex-husbands and stuff like that in the affair. So I'll get to that, but let me get back to my rising sign. So I already told you about Leos. My rising sign is Sagittarius. Okay. And this was the sun sign of one of my ex-husbands. And the other one had a sun sign of Capricorn. So I definitely thought that we were meant to be, because one of the first things he said to me, though he knows nothing about astrology, was like, when I had to write down his birthday because he was my patient, I was like January 4th and I was like, oh yeah, my birthday is January 1st. And he was like, oh yeah, Capricorn. So I thought like he knew about it. He doesn't fucking know anything about that kind of stuff. I don't know why he said it. So, but that was to me a green flag, not a red flag. Okay. So that's why I get myself into these things, because it seems like I was sent there by God, or these people were entering my life by God, like whether or not it plays by the rules of, cause like sometimes it happened with people who were married that they would just get sort of like this. Once they realized how stable I was and how much I wanted to be a mother, but wasn't yet, they would get like clingy with me because they wanted that energy in their life. They wanted their wife to be that way. They wanted their wife to be the type of mother that they thought that I would be. Okay. So that's why I'm trying to teach you these things. I'm trying to teach the entire internet how to treat people better and how to have the relationships that you want, because my husbands, they destroyed me. They destroyed me. They broke me. I thought nothing could break me. My second one, dude, he broke me because I loved him way more than my first one. Because once my first one showed his true colors, like right away, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. But I am loyal to my like bond of marriage and to staying with the spouse that like gave you the children. So I had to wait until it was his decision to end the relationship. Okay. So I want you to understand some of these things. So Sagittarius, so I know like these certain signs, and then I know if you're veering off path from what you should be doing. Sagittarians, they like to learn about the world through experience. Now, the oppositional sign to that is Gemini. And Geminis, they like to learn through like verbal stuff. So like talking and reading and things like that. But the oppositional side to that is that, that's why you need to know about like your sign and the opposite one. The opposite one to me is Cancer. I know a lot about that because my sister is a Cancer, but she's older. So we have these oppositional things that keep us in balance. All right. That's why we never spent a lot of time together when we were young, but we always were going through similar stuff at the same time, or like popped in. I always see her at Aldi. If I want to see my sister, I go to Aldi because I'm probably going to see her there before we can get together. So anyway. So Sagittarians, like they want to learn and explore, and they're like philosophers. Okay. So that is my rising sign. Your rising sign is your purpose in this life. So that's why I want to learn from you, from your experience, not from stupid books. Though when I find books or tarot readers or anybody on the internet or anything that speaks to what I already know, then I expose you to that thing. I'm not learning from that person. They're already speaking what I know. So when I teach you about something, then you start learning about that thing and it speaks to you and you're like, oh, you're going to love this. It's like, yeah, I love it, but I also wish I had time for it, but I don't have time for it because they're already saying what I already know inside. Okay. So I love it. Right. I love that you are finding these similarities and things are popping up in your world because you're starting to see how what as within so without, you're changing your world around you based on what you are. Like, the algorithms are magical. I don't even know how they work, but they work well. So I do believe that my videos will move as they are meant to move, right? That's just how it's going to work. And you're going to see it. That's just the way that math works. Okay. It picks up exponentially. It moves slow, slow, slow. It's like, if you understand investing in the stock market or like an IRA, and mutual funds and things like that, you have to stay in it. You have to stick in the game because it's a game. Okay. It's a fear-based game. The stock market is just all feelings. All right. All right. So silly. So check that off the list. Okay. The red flags to show. Okay. When I was talking in my previous video about like red flags on my wedding day with my first husband, it was like, I'll have to leave that for a separate video because there's too much to talk about, but the stories are like funny and interesting. And I don't think that these things happen in your life. So I hope that the stories are interesting enough because I get annoyed with talking and blah, blah, blahing. All right. So I try to get it to you in the most efficient format possible. And I'm just trying to get through it all. All right. So I'll talk about the red flags, but the reason why I say like, you don't know red flags before they happen because you don't have experience with it. So even if somebody tells you about it, it's going to show up in its own individual way. So the benefit to them is that when you start seeing them repeat in somebody else, you can see, oh, okay, this is where we divide. This is where there's a division between like my mind and my heart, because my heart knows that something's wrong, but my mind wants to stick with it because you don't want to be alone. And there's certain things that you love about your partner regardless. So then you try to change the person. I never try to change the person. I try to see, like, can you tell that you're misaligned right now? And what do you do to get yourself back in alignment? That's like the first thing is like, what do you do already? What do you already recognize? And then if you don't, but then you feel regretful later that to where you have to say sorry. I don't like saying sorry because I never intend to hurt somebody, right? I always try to have self-control and take a minute and smoke cigarettes so that I don't blow up in a way of where I feel regretful afterwards. But I have felt regretful because I've mirrored the behavior patterns of what people have done around me. Okay. So it's not me showing the red flags. I'm trying to show you your own red flags. All right. But anyway, the importance of red flags and identifying them for the future is so that you've already figured out what you don't want. So don't repeat the cycle as soon as you see it starting, no matter how much you feel like you love the person. If it's out of your control, first step is, are they reflecting something about you and yourself? So that's what I did. That's why I stayed in my relationship for a total of like 4 years, my second relationship, even though we were only married for like a year. It was because I was going through all of the things within me that I thought he was holding up a mirror to and projecting at me. All right. So I was like, I need to work on all my own stuff first before I try to say that he's the problem. So that was why I finally let him end the relationship with a text breakup. Right. And then was willing to commit to complete silence because he was saying like that I was stonewalling him, because that's what they say that narcissists do. They stonewall you, right? And that's what he was doing to me when I was coming back to him and saying like, hey, can we talk? And he would completely ignore me. So I would keep coming back like 4 or 5 times, like, hey, are you ready to talk yet? He would ignore me. So it's like, okay, well then when you're ready to talk, you have to break that silence with me because I've already tried breaking the silence with you. Okay. So that's where you are your own worst enemy. So then he would say that I was a narcissist because I was stonewalling him when he would want to talk or whatever. Okay, it's squirrely, so we'll have to get into it at another time. But I just wanted you to understand that I never cheated on him. I never cheated on him. So because I learned from my first relationship that I didn't like being cheated on, which who does? And when I cheated on him, I wanted a divorce. I wanted a divorce to be with the person who I wanted to be with. First, he said yes, and then he said no. And he said he wanted to fight for the relationship. When somebody includes the word fight in a relationship that is based on love, red flag alert. But I'm so glad that I stayed with him because I got to have my daughters and they completed the cycle. Okay. When I say my cycle is complete, it's because my first son was not supposed to be born on February 19th. He was born early. He was supposed to be born on March 24th. My second son was supposed to be born on April 24th, but he waited 2 days later because my mom was coming into town on April 26th, and he was almost born in the car when we were on the on our way to the airport to pick her up, because he is so conscientious that their personality shows up before they're born. Okay, so got to the hospital to have them on time, but yeah. So red flags are there to show you what you don't want in the future when you see them. And that is what's most important about life. And the little fortune cookie that I got the other day where I read the fortune, it was something about that experience. I don't know, but experience teaches you what you don't want so that you don't have to repeat experiences. But what you find out is that you might end up having the same experience by the end result, because no relationship starts out with like fighting and I hate you and I want to change you. They all start out friendly. Okay. So that's why I cannot pursue people, because I am not the man. I will never, ever, ever in my life again treat a man like a woman. I told my ex-husband, my second one, that I was not going to be the alpha in a relationship because I already understood the problems that caused. Because I did want that in my first relationship. I wanted to be the breadwinner and I wanted to be a perfect mother and wife. And I got those things and it was exhausting and he took me for everything. Okay. All right. So, forecasting car problems, I was saying that I did not like forecast the car problems. What I think I did was that they were going to happen no matter what. But here's the benefit of you being in alignment with yourself, is that bad things are going to happen. But when you're in alignment, they happen in such a way that they don't totally dismantle your life, right? So if I had gotten into a car accident, because somebody else was wishing it upon me, and I was in a complete wreck inside already, because I was like in the place where I was before we had gotten back together after the divorce, which was like, I was crying every day. I had tried to quit smoking. I was working on all the things of myself, tried to quit smoking for better health, tried to exercise every day for better health. I was like running with the dog every morning for better health. I got myself a keto app to make sure that not only was I eating keto, which just in general, if you eat ketogenic, you would probably lose weight no matter how much you eat. I can almost guarantee it because you're not me. All right. So I got a ketogenic app to make sure that I was staying below 1,200 calories. So I was documenting all this stuff. And I started this like file in my phone called Integrity, where I would do an integrity check every day of where I would take a picture of myself and I would take a picture of the scale. Okay. And I'm not going to release it. I had said previously I was going to release that. I'm not going to, because it's fucked up and I don't like it and it sucks. And, you know what I got? I was like I said, I was like crying every day because my heart was broken and I was steadily gaining weight, despite the fact that I had quit smoking for better health, that I was running every day, and that I was eating ketogenic perfectly. Okay. So it doesn't work for me. What happened? We ended up getting back together. I started smoking a few months after that and I lost the weight again. But what I'm saying is that I was in an emotional state of disturbance. Okay. I was way out of alignment between my heart and my mind, and it wasn't working for me. So that as I was getting like healthier and setting boundaries, the next time that we got together, I had promised to myself that I know the emotional turmoil that I go through when things aren't working well with him and I. And if he did the thing of where he separated, whether it be through text, conversation, or anything that was similar to that, that I was going to let him go this time. Okay. It's my truth. It's my truth. All right. So I had to go through it. And then I know he burnt all of his bridges, because normally he would be out. He would be out if he was uncomfortable with this situation. He would go and stay with a relative. He was not staying with any relatives this time. He ended up staying here until, I don't know, like midway through October or something like that. Whatever. I'm sorry. I am sorry that he had to go through that. I'm sorry that I was catalyst for those things. Okay. I won't do it again. That's why I'm willing to say I'm sorry, because I'm trying to teach my ex-husbands how to treat a woman. Okay. If you want to keep one, you need to understand how to respect her and how to treat her. And it's not to make her the leader. It is to honor her, to take what you have earned and share it with her. Okay. She should, if you spent a day with me to where you weren't paying rent to be able to stay within my home, then you benefited off of me, okay? I don't care if you didn't want to contribute because we might break up at some point, because that was constantly the thing. It's like, well, I would fix the gutter that fell off because I was a roofer, and we had come up with all these solutions on how to fix it. Guess what never got done? It would have taken him moments, all right? Okay, all right, I'm getting too much into my feelings. So let's get back on track here. So I didn't forecast the car problems, or I didn't curse myself. And the importance of the inner alignment is that something did go wrong with my car. So if you're cursing me and I saw your little fruit fly, you got me. But I can't pay to fix the door right now because I have other car problems that are just natural car problems. But the benefit of me being in alignment was that I didn't find out that the door was broken because it was swinging open while my kids were in the car. It was that it was once I was safely home with dinner. Okay. So I didn't forecast the problems, but because my alignment is so much better now, the problem happened without it taking out my ability to use my car or it being an accident or, okay. So that's the importance of you getting into alignment and finding inner peace, is that bad things can still happen, but it's in a more controlled environment. Because otherwise, if you have like a car accident and something bad happens, it's because you were not paying attention, all right? Because there's something fucked up with the inside of you. And my kids were showing me a car accident that happened, and it wasn't an accident. It was that a car had tipped off, and it looked just exactly like my ex's car. And I was like, I wanted to see the video again because I was like, wait a second, is that his car? And they were like, I don't know, but that's what it looked like. And that's what we thought when we saw it. So we were kind of like happy that if it was him, that something bad finally happened to him instead of him doing bad stuff to our family. Okay. I got to let that one go. And I needed to clarify the affairs. So I already did that. So I never cheated on him. All right. So when I say that I had an affair, I'll talk about what cheating is and what an affair is and all those other things in a future video, but not today. The missed call, I did already talk about that. Red flags, kids' school, tattoos, and husbands. All right. This one, my fleur-de-lis, that was with my first husband. He was from Louisiana. This one was with my second husband. He was from around here. Okay. Different people. The opening of communication with the ex is what I have on here, and how he found out about the channel. Okay. That was kind of like my biggest fear, and I already had to face it. Well, and for you to know that I'm obsessed with love and I desperately want another partner, but I'm not desperate I'm not thirsty, okay? I want somebody who understands me, who is willing to team up with me to make this world a better place, okay? If you're that person, let's go ahead and try it, all right? Because I'm willing to try it, but you have to appreciate all of me. If there's any little one thing that is out of alignment, then first tell me about that thing and let me see if I feel comfortable with that thing or uncomfortable with that thing. Is it authentic to me or is it not? Because if it's authentic to me and you don't like it, like my makeup or the way that I dress or whatever, then we're not in alignment. I'm not going to lead it up to us having problems. That's why we need to have enlistment and re-enlistment dating, and what I was talking about with Hinge. And the concept of that is, let me just get it out of my system real quick right now so we can understand that. Because everybody deserves to have their love honored, and you shouldn't have to do it through marriage, because marriage is nothing more than some old bullshit stuff of like legally binding contracts, because people used to get married based on like if the man could take care of a man's daughter, and the man would have to prove it by giving like a dowry to the family or to her or in exchange for her. Okay. So that was why it happened. Now it happens with like, you have to buy her a wedding ring. That's why I'm like, I don't need you to spend all that extra money unless you're making a lot of extra money and you want to do that thing. But I don't like diamonds because they've ruined a lot of people's lives. Many, many, many people's lives. People have been murdered for them, right? Like watch the first Crow movie, all right? Okay. Hang on. Let me just pause and catch my breath. Okay. I paused it right at 44:04. I never do anything intentional with the timing, just so you know. So like when you see like cool numbers in my how long the video is, because my friend had said you should try to end all of your videos at 25 seconds so we remember. And I'm talking about, he was saying we because we were planning to be together in the future. He was planning on coming here to the States to visit me because he's not in this country. And then I was planning to go to where he is to spend the summer with him. Okay. I can't take anybody on their fucking word. Either you show up or you don't. That's all it is, okay? And he made my daughter cry. And it wasn't because of something he did directly. It was because um, when they were gone for Christmas, he ghosted, all right? And it was because of something I'll talk about it in the future. But they were so disappointed when they came back and they found out that we weren't talking anymore. And my daughter, she like started crying because she was talking about it, and she was saying, hang on. Okay, it makes me want to cry. So I'm just gonna push through this. She said she knew how much I wanted to be with him. And I'm not crying because I'm like sad that we're not together. I don't give a fuck. If somebody closes me out, then they're closed out, and that's fine. That's your actions, okay? And I just have to respond appropriately to it. So I kept hope alive with him because the memory of our affair was what helped me get through my first marriage. All right. Because it was so profound and it was so magical. And he knew me so well without me having to say a word. And he like protected me during a time when there was something really crazy going on. And I'll explain it in a different video. He took me into this store. There's just so much good that he did for me. He kept me going during a very, very hard time when my husband said he wanted to fight for the marriage. He did not. He wanted me to have to fight to get through every single day. So you know what I did? I stayed in the cozy of my mind and I let that power me. Okay. So that's the reason why all you people are so important to me, whether or not we see each other on a daily basis. It's because I have you in my mind and in my heart, and you help me get through. So when people take their lives, okay, because I just have to sidebar from all that stuff. Well, let me see if I can just finish up what my daughter was saying. She was saying that they were really looking forward to meeting him because they had heard stories about him for so long. This was like the guy that I had the affair with. And they would hear him talking to me on the phone for one day. This man cannot speak his truth. He doesn't want to. He feels vulnerable, okay? But this one day, he played guitar and sang for me for 3 hours on the phone, okay? 3 hours from a different country. So, you know, so I know how he feels about me. But if he can't say it and if he can't show up, then he doesn't get my power anymore, okay? He's become the greatest enemy, all right? So you have to understand that. And what my daughter was saying was that, you know, I just feel bad for you. So she was crying for me. She was crying because she knew if she felt sad about not being able to like see him, or for this reality to come into fruition because it's some fantasy, some fucking future faking fantasy. He's not a narcissist, but that is what narcissists do. So if I see the red flags in somebody that I love, regardless of like what they've done in my life, you know, the positive stuff that they've done in my life, it's like, I'm sorry, you don't get to come back. I'm sorry, unless you do something earth-shattering, world-changing to like save me from all the problems that other people have caused. And you didn't do it, so you're out. But she was saying that if I'm heartbroken by it, like my daughter was saying that if she was heartbroken by it, she couldn't even imagine like how sad I must be. And she knew that I wasn't showing it, okay? So she did it for me. She like cleared that shit out for me. That's why the importance of my children's truth is so important to me, and why I want you to be able to see them on camera and have them talk about all this stuff that we've been through together as a family, and how they can still have a loving relationship with their father who has created all this chaos for us. He has taken from them, okay? And he's still telling them like, well, I can't get you clothes for summer because now I'm paying child support. Well, that's a fucking lie, all right? Because child support, despite like what you are paying, which is way below what he should be, um, I don't know how he's getting away with it, but I don't have any support on my side because I've been calling the lawyers and stuff like that, and they don't get back to me. I only have so much time in a day. That's why I need your help to break this stuff on a spiritual level so that this abundance can come in for these children who are better than the person who made them. Okay. Ugh. So anyway, hang on. I need you to see how these children are rational humans that are way more evolved than most adults in this world, and why it's so important for me to always have connection with them and never have a closed door to them, which I have the door closed right now because I'm doing this video so they can like hear me. But you know, I used to be embarrassed to do these videos while they were at home, but now I'm not anymore because I have to do this for their future. I have to do it. We are in a different economy now, and the economy is fucking crazy right now. All right. So sorry to all you who are about to lose everything because you thought that you were safe. You are not safe. You are not safe when somebody else tells you what to do, but they are not exhibiting that like, do what I say, not what I do. Okay. They're fucking hypocrites. They're lying to you. And I am here to tell you the truth. And I am not afraid to expose my entire catfishing, whatever. This is like my makeup and stuff. I'm not afraid to expose all of my truth to you because it's my reality. What else am I supposed to do? Okay. So let me just look back. Hang on. Oh, the whole importance of the enlistment and the re-enlistment and dating and stuff like that. Okay. I have to get this out, and that should be the last thing. I've got all these things on my table that that's what I started the day out with, was that I cluttered my table so I could go through and show you all the things. We didn't get to that destination. Okay. It's the journey that was important. So I need you to understand that everybody deserves to have love in their lives. Everybody deserves to have their important relationships, symbolized in some sacred form of union, okay? And we need to get away from marriage that only supports and benefits the like powers that be, the legal people. I think it's kind of awesome that this keeps going out into black and white as I shift around. That's cool. So anyway, so the concept is to have an enlistment ceremony. So if you want to create a relationship with someone or something that you want to have in front of others, we all get to have this together, okay? Because when you would enlist in the military, you would do it as a group. You would hold up your hand and you would vow to be a perfect human for the military, which means being a perfect robot. And humans are not capable of doing that, which is why they do crazy shit, okay? That's why veterans have a hard time re-assimilating to the world, because all the help that's out there for us is impossible to get to unless you fit this very narrow category. And the one thing that my crush, the dude that I'm obsessed with, did was so if he is my twin flame, which I'll get into that concept in the future, you are it's like you share a soul. And so what you need to do is make positive change in the world, or else you can't be back together. I don't care about being back together with him anymore, okay? He's proven to me that he's a fucking coward, even though I know he's not. But to me, he was. So I struggled so much when I got out of the military to transfer my fucking medical records over for me and my family, okay, from active duty to veteran status and to get access to all those things. I still don't have them. All right. Is it worth fighting that fight? No, because my kids are almost adults now. And then it just doesn't matter. We made it through this far. I'm not investing my effort into that. But what happens when you're a veteran is that none of your files would transfer over because they use two different computer systems. All right. So they didn't easily transfer over. So I'm like, what we need in this world is to have a transfer that is way easier, that the transfer starts when you are still in, which they sort of had this process, but not fully, not where it mattered most importantly. From where you are like an active soldier into your retirement or your veteran status, okay? And he was part of a crew that like created this program, I guess. Like he is humble, and so he doesn't like brag about the good things that he does. So when we were back in communication, holy shit, this was not what I was talking about when I was saying opening up communication with my ex. And I didn't finish that. But the basis of that, okay, let me just finish this up. So he did good for the world, okay? So if that was our purpose and having this affair and promising each other this like future that we never could have, it doesn't matter to me. He did something to make the world a better place for all of the veterans that I care about, okay? So he did it. He did his mission, and he's got a lot more that he's going to do in this life because he's way stronger than you all out there. Sorry, but he's like the only person who was on par with my level of like personal challenges that I do just to be a more experienced human, so that I am better with everybody that I meet. All right, but opening up communication with my ex was oh my god, and then the whole like dating app that I was talking about or whatever. So let me finish those up and then I'm out for the day. All right. So hang on. No, I opened up communication because I knew that I had grown enough within that I could open up my blocked contacts or like, okay, when I block somebody, their messages go into my spam folder. So they're all still there. So I used to, like before we had gotten back together after the divorce, I used to go back in and check to see where he was at, to see if he was in a place of understanding, understanding, overstanding of me and what he was doing to me, to where then he could understand what I needed and why to stay in alignment with love instead of love and hate. Okay. I thought we could do it. We couldn't. But what I know is that in my spam folder right now, there are probably more messages than the last one that I sent to him. And so what I want to do on the other channel is, first of all, like find where my last message was and see how much was communicated by him, because he like uses me as a therapist, okay? Which I love, and that's okay. I love him. You know, I don't want to be with him. I can't. I never will again, because I understand what our connection was for. And that's all you need to understand is like find meaning in the bad and the good and then let it go. I'm trying to teach you detachment because it's so important. And I'm just like desperate to end this video. So I'm trying to be real concise with everything right now. So what I know is that if he's saying things like I'm talking about cursing, if he's actually putting things into writing and like into texting and typing and then sending it through Wi-Fi now, it's like our messages communicate differently. And so that's why energy can be sent and received differently. All right. So it is really happening. It's showing up somehow. So I was thinking like, maybe there is a space, a distance in which we can hold each other to where we can find love and respect for each other, but continue on with our lives and still be in communication. That can't happen. That can't happen unless he like wants to come onto the channel and talk about what really happened, but we will never be back together. I promise that. All right. And I don't make promises lightly. It's never going to happen again. So, I wanted to stop the negativity that he was sending my way. So I realized that I was healed enough inside to where I could start to read through and see everything that I had missed out on, because I cared about him. I always will. And I wanted to read every single word that he sent because he intended for me to receive it. Okay. He knew that I had him blocked, but, he knows that I will like go back and check these things. Well, I haven't gone back to check it since the final time that I communicated with him, which was, oh man, it's just every story leads into another and I could just keep telling it. But he was very much on point with what I was saying, like that we're twins, that our belief is like that we are the same in our beliefs, but we're not. We are not. And he was trying to tell me that I was wrong in my beliefs. Now, I have this channel because I want you to prove me wrong. Okay. I want you to listen to everything that I'm saying. And I want you to show me the proof of how I am wrong. Okay. Because I have spent my entire 42 years on this earth observing people, observing everything that has come into my environment and learning from it. Okay. From a objective, as the crow flies viewpoint. And I'm trying to teach you that because it's not as easy for everybody. It's easy for me, probably because I'm a Capricorn, because I have a high pain tolerance that I developed when I was younger, and because I'm an empath. Because one of the first things I realized was that it would hurt the feelings of the people around me when people would compliment my eyes. And they started doing this when I was a baby. So my mom probably liked it because her mom would do the same thing to her. They would get her all dressed up cute and they would take her out and then they would compliment her. Okay, so my mom got complimented right from birth just for being herself. All right. So I was receiving that and I was too young to know this, but I know it because I felt it, that when people would compliment my eyes, it's like, I know not everybody else has that. Not everybody else. So I have gratitude for the way that my eyes look because my mother I got them from my mom, because everybody else besides my sister, my mom and I has like brown eyes in our family. Okay. So I always wanted brown eyes to be more like my family. I always wanted brown contacts, but they never had them. Okay. So I'm going way too far into a story, but you need to understand why it is. So I was opening up communication back with him so that he wasn't sending me the negativity anymore. But once he started showing that he was sending me the negativity and telling me that I was wrong, then I'm like, hey, listen, you know, one of the last things that I said was, I I love her, and I don't remember who it was that I was talking about. Maybe his new girl. I don't remember. But anyway, so that was why I did it. And then that's why I closed it out again. Now I am going to, we have to close out that cycle. All right. So the only way that I can close it out is to expose the full truth of what has been done to me. So you guys can see that all I have been doing is enduring the pain that others put me through. But because I have a high pain tolerance, you can't see it on my face. All right. You saw my tears. You just saw them. It affects me deeply. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is why I want the re-enlistment thing. So you start off with an enlistment and you swear to your enlistment with a group of people. We have the ceremony together, all right? So we all enlist to commit to something, whether it be a business idea, whether it be a partner, okay? And I don't care what the partner looks like. I don't care what genitalia they have. You guys are hyper obsessed about genitalia and all this other stuff. I think it's like, you want to tell me that you're gay? The only thing that I can think of is that you're trying to tell me like who you have sex with. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, I don't. All right, that's your thing. So just be you, and that's all that matters. And I accept you no matter what. All right? It's like, man, I have tried to consider being with a girl because I would love to have a wife, right? I know the benefit and the power of feminine power, all right? But I just can't. I can't be into girls. I'm sorry. I love them as friends. It's cool. Like, I totally respect them, but like all my best female friends, they're lesbians, right? Or they were at one point, or they've like transitioned into a man. I fucking love them so much because they accept me exactly for who I am. Dude, all right. I think I said all the things that I'm going to say, but what the importance of the enlistment and re-enlistment is that you decide to do it for a period of time. And the reason why you're so shitty to your partner and your partner is so shitty to you is because you don't know when it's going to end. You promised everybody, all your friends and family, in front of this like big, huge audience that you invested a shitload of money in. So you fucked up your future for it because you don't have money, or you like took your parents' money for it. And you vowed to like, I love you in sickness and in health. And but let you put on like a TV show that I don't like, and I'm going to think that you're a piece of shit, and I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't like that thing. It's like you vowed through all things to stand by your partner's side, and you don't, okay? So if I see you talking shit about yourself or your partner, I can't say it makes me so uncomfortable. So please, if you see this video, please don't ever complain about the people in your life, because if they haven't put their hand on your throat and said, oh, no, you would like that too much. Like in the hallway while your fucking kids were in their rooms around, and you didn't have to like speak out upon that because you were just trying to keep the family together. Or if your partner didn't trap you in a bathroom because you asked them not to cheat on you or accuse them of cheating on you, and then they said to you, I'll show you how I've been cheating on you. And they come back with a telephone to show you videos of a porn star that they think looks like you. And then they lock you in the bathroom with them to express themselves in front of you. Then maybe you should have some appreciation for your partner. Okay. Perhaps the stories that I'm telling are autobiographical. Okay. And perhaps it was with a person that I had children with. All right. So if you don't remember it and you are that person, it happened and you, okay. So I stayed in it because I was loyal to my children and to my spouse. Okay. So I don't want you to have to suffer through these things. All right. I do not want you to have that happen to you or anything that's close to it. I know there's plenty of people who are getting the shit beat out of them and they can't say anything and everybody else knows it and nothing can be done because of the fucking legal system. All right. And what's that done for me? Well, it got me my child support. Yay. That's way too low. And he works for the legal system. All right. So yeah, obviously we're at a minute and it was, no, I'm sorry, an hour and 4 minutes and 0 seconds when I looked at it. I have to fucking go. All right. In one of the other videos, I talked about how 14, because that shows up as a 14, that is a karmic cycle number. You can go back to that video if you feel like finding it. I don't know. Anyway, the enlistment is for a period of time that you agree to be your best self for that thing. And I guarantee you, you will have great relationships. And then when you get to the end of that, if there is something in your life that first initial enlistment period, that it seems like it's a better time to like break up. It's not because you're breaking up because you don't like each other anymore. It's because you respect each other and you love each other enough to let each other go and be authentic and go learn about the world, because you don't learn a whole lot if you've been married to like the same person and your life doesn't shift around a lot. Okay. So though I love you and I honor you for being in these long-term relationships, my parents have been married for 53 years. I fucking respect and honor that, but they are so shitty to each other. Okay. So I don't respect that. I think it's awful. Like they don't see the benefit in each other. Well, it's more my mom doesn't see the positivity in my father because she's an Aries and she's a child and she's headstrong, but she's got amazing personal boundaries and she gets to live her life the exact way that she wants to. She's on like her third vacation within the past 2 months because they stayed together. They stayed together. All right. So think about this. Think about this concept, because I'm not going to be able to create an enlistment dating app right now, but I'm going to keep pushing the concept because I want somebody to try it with me. If you just want to be one of the people who tries to like enlist in a relationship with me, like it's going to be really hard because you got to be fully honest with who you are. But you know, I'm willing to try it out, but I'm not going to be an alpha and I'm not going to ask you out and I'm not going to pay for a goddamn thing for you. Okay. You're a fucking grown adult. So don't come into my life if you think that you're going to take anything from me. But you can earn my love. And I got like, so much to give. That's why I have to like put it out on the internet, because I have so much and I'm stuck in my own world where my love doesn't equate to money to get me out of these problems. So I am investing my time and energy into loving on you, telling you what my mistakes were, showing you the complete truth, so you will come and form a new society with me when this one fucking breaks down, okay? We're going to keep some part of it living, but I just love you, all right? Hope you found something interesting in today. That was like 4 hours of my time, okay, that I can't get back, but I feel like it was well invested because it was an investment in me and all the people that I have loved in the past and still have love for, because I will never H anybody, okay? I love you. Bye.